if you're a little lightheaded, you really got to practice this, okay? If you know anybody that's bedridden or in the hospital, they should do this 3 times a day, 10 repetitions to keep them oxygenated, okay? So we talked about the first 3, food, water, and air. The last one I want to talk about is the one that you probably didn't think about. It's called nuclear power, and it's on the back page. I want to spend a little bit of time on this because nuclear power is really important for you to understand. The nuclear power that we talk about is the power of the nervous system, okay? And I want you guys to know that the master organ for your whole body is your brain. Your brain is what controls your heartbeat. Your brain is what controls your digestion. Your brain is what controls all the movements of your body. And I want to dedicate this portion of this workshop to Christopher Reeves, because whenever I think about him, all these feelings about this nervous system come to mind, okay? And I want to share that with you now. First of all, Christopher Reeves, Superman, right? He's riding his horse one day, and he was a very accomplished equestrian rider. What happened was, he had taken this jump with his horse hundreds of times, but this one day, his horse got a bad start. And his horse had a bad approach, and when it came to the gate, it stopped. And it threw Christopher Reeves over the top of the gate. Christopher Reeves' arms got stuck in the horse's reins. So he fell over the top of his huge horse head first, okay? When he hit the gate, he hit it like this, okay? His vertebrae and the upper part of his neck slid all the way, and it hit all the nerves inside, which we call the spinal cord, okay? When that vertebrae subluxated into the spinal cord, it cut it just a little bit. The neurosurgeon said you could cover that with your little finger, okay? But when you lose the connection between the brain to the rest of your body, what happened to Christopher Reeves? He was quadriplegic, but moreover, he was classified as a ventilator 2 dependent quadriplegic, which means, you guys always saw he had something inside of his shirt. What that was a ventilator to help him breathe. He also had a bag to collect food because his digestive system didn't work properly. Now, he didn't hit his chest or his lungs. He didn't hit his stomach. All he hit was his neck. But when you disconnect the brain from the rest of the body, bad things happen, okay? Remember in olden times, when you stole a bunch of horses in the old Western, what'd they do to you to kill you? They'd hang you. Because when they hang you, you snap the neck and it cuts all the messages and you die like that. The pirates, they use a guillotine, whack! Because when you want to kill somebody quickly, you sever the connection from the brain to the body, they will not live, okay? So I want you to know that this power that we call your nervous system is critical for you to have health, okay? That's one of the reasons the healthiest people on the planet are under regular chiropractic care, because the purpose of your spine, ladies and gentlemen, is not just to hold us up, okay? Because when I ask 10 people that, 9 of them will say the purpose of your spine is to hold you up, okay? And that's not true, because dogs and cats have spines and they run around like this, okay? The purpose of every spine is to protect all the nerves. Your brain has all the nerves, and the nerves come together and they form what they call the brainstem. And the brainstem is where all the nerves live, okay? That brainstem turns into this thing right here, called the spinal cord. And that spinal cord, as it goes down through your spine, it branches off and branches off and branches off. And these nerves go to every part of your body. If you cut the nerve right here that goes to your ear, what happens to your hearing? Okay, if you cut the nerve here that goes down your leg, what happens to your leg? Okay, you can't move it, okay? So what happens if I cut these 2 nerves that go to your heart? Okay, so I want you to know one thing. The nerves bring nourishment to every part of your body. Cut the nerve to your tooth, it'll turn black and fall out because there's no nourishment there. Subluxations don't cut the nerves, they pinch them and squeeze them like this. So you have problems over time. This might not hurt right away, but over time, this nerve pressure is going to cause some problems wherever that nerve goes to. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, so let's get back to the notes. Your brain is literally the power generator for your entire body. Like our city, it sends power and information over power lines. Your nervous system. Very similar to your house, if your body gets the power, all the parts will work. Your body has miles of power lines called nerves. Subluxations are misalignments in the spine, which result in nerve pressure or irritation. Subluxations damage the brain's ability to communicate in our body properly. Subluxations can reduce nerve flow up to 60%. Dr. Chung Ha Su. So let me just show you guys real quick a day in the life of your spine. You wake up from your bed in the morning, and your bed's probably a little bit soft because you had it for too many years. So you wake up and your body's kind of bent. You go to the sink, you brush your teeth. You go to eat breakfast and you sit down. Hi, sweetheart, how are you? You sit down and eat breakfast, okay? You get up, you get on the freeway, and you sit in your car, and you're in traffic, and you're on Kapilani, and it's really trafficy there, and you're sitting in your car. You get up, you go into your office, you sit at your desk, and you sit there. And you sit at your desk and check all your email all morning long till you get up and eat lunch and do it all again, okay? So your spine is in a subluxated position most of the day. The most important part of your posture is the position of your head, okay? If your bowling ball is shifted like this, it puts tremendous stress on the spine, the nerves, and all the muscles. So if you know anybody that has tight shoulders, they've got their bowling ball out front like this, okay? And it's causing problems someplace else, okay? So that's the day in the life of your spine. Just think about it tomorrow when you wake up, change that, okay? Sleep properly and then sit up when you drive, okay? Okay, these subluxations may result in decreased energy, sickness, disease, and even in early death. Dr. Roger Sperry, he's a medical doctor and he won a Nobel Prize for brain research. He said that now listen to this, 90% of our brain's energy is used for posture alone. So if you have a spine that looks like this, 90% of what your brain's doing is just keeping you from falling over, okay? Just keeping you from falling over, okay? So only 10% of your brain's energy is actually used for healing your body, for thinking, and for metabolizing food. So as you get adjusted, and as your spine starts to return back to a more normal position, your brain's energy can be used for healing, metabolizing, and thinking. That's the mechanism that gets all of you better, okay? I just want to stop for just a second before I finish my workshop, because when I'm talking about nerves, I asked one of our patients to come up and just talk for just a minute about what he experienced when he came to chiropractic. So I want to give Warren a hand. So give Warren a hand. He's going to come up here and just talk for just a second. Okay?
Hello, everybody. Dr. Lee had called me earlier to talk about my experiences with chiropractic care. And I would like to say that it first started one day back in March when I woke up in the morning with this really stiff neck. And for some reason, the pain wouldn't go away. And about a week later, the pain still persisted and I felt this tingling sensation going down my arm. And then a few days later, it got worse and it started, I started feeling these shooting pains going down my arm. And I thought, oh my goodness, something is really wrong. I thought maybe my neck was out of alignment or something. And so a few years ago, I remembered Dr. Lee's name because we played volleyball. And I looked him up in the phone book. I came in for an x-ray. And after looking at the x-ray, he goes, Warren, you have arthritis in your neck. And I was like, what? I'm too young for arthritis. But then, you know, the x-rays showed that my vertebrae are being compressed and then my nerves are being pinched. So he recommended that I go under treatment under his care. So I did sign up with him. And, you know, I've been coming 3 times a week, and I'm very, very happy to say that today there is no more pain in my arm. My neck is fine, and we're, you know, I'm on the road to recovery. In fact, I'm so happy with the results that I recommended that my wife come into because she experiences these migraine headaches from time to time. And in one of his workshops with Head and Shoulders, he said that if you experience headaches, headaches are not normal, so come and see him if possible. Anyway, my wife and I are both under his care now, and we're both very happy with the results. And I'd like to say thank you, Dr. Lee, for taking care of us. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Okay, thanks, Warren. So what Warren had was what? What was happening up here? He had a subluxation that was causing what? Right, okay, pinched nerve, okay? Subluxation causing pinched nerve for Warren, and that's why if he didn't get adjusted, it would go all the way to his hand, it would get numb, and they would want to do surgery. And what they do is they cut through the front of your neck to open up that nerve, okay? We didn't want him to go anywhere near that. So I'm glad he's doing so much better. Thanks, Warren, for sharing your story, okay? So the most important way to tap into your body's health is to do the 4 things we talked about. Eat better, drink better, breathe better, and have good posture. Because your posture dictates how well the nerves can flow through your body, okay? So here's my recommendations before we end. Snack between meals every 3 hours. Drink a half glass of water every hour. Breathe deeply for better oxygenation and get adjusted regularly, okay? I just want to end with a quick story. A story about a little boy who got into a head-on car crash. The cars turning, they both thought they made the light okay, but they had a head-on crash. Both cars were totaled. That boy was lucky to walk away from the accident, but because of that accident, he had, similar to Warren, numbness in his arm, couldn't turn his neck, he couldn't move, he was playing sports, he couldn't play sports, it affected his schoolwork, it affected everything, okay? You guys all know how pain can affect your life. Well, this boy went through the medical doctor, went through physical therapy, he tried different medications, he got massage, he worked out twice a day, he got acupuncture, he tried everything, and everything worked good temporarily. But it wasn't until he went to a chiropractor that took an x-ray of his neck, showed him where it was subluxated, and started to correct his spine. And as the adjustment started helping, the bone started realigning, and the nerve problem started unpinching, and that boy could turn his neck, and his life was restored. And I want to tell you that I know that story is true, because that boy is me. Okay, so I've been there with this problem, and I know that chiropractic helped me, and I know that chiropractic can help you too. So live a chiropractic healthy lifestyle. Thanks for coming. Have a great evening, okay?